I do have my timer for you.
Do I just stand right here or?
That'd be fine, that'd
Okay.
be fine.
My name is Terrence Jones. I'm the founder and executive director for Total Justice Project. I drove the 9 hours here from New Jersey. I had sent you, Mayor, Pat Stillwell, and all of the aldermen and alderwomen a formal complaint against Mount Carmel police officer Hunter Jones for using excessive force and for violating his police chief, who's out there in the hallway there, Chris Lunsford, use of force policy. I came here today because I sent you, Mayor, and the aldermen a formal complaint by email on April 10th, 2022. I sent Chief Lunsford and yourself, Mayor Stillwell, the same formal complaint again because I didn't get an answer on April 10th, 2022, on May 5th, 2022, and May 13th, 2022. So I never got an acknowledgement for my formal complaints. I never, you guys, the mayor and aldermen and the police chief never responded to my formal complaints. It appears that you and Chief Lunsford are intentionally ignoring a concerned citizen's complaint against a police officer who is employed by the Mount Carmel Police Department. Please be advised that you both have violated my First Amendment right to file a grievance against Officer Jones and petition the government to fire him for using excessive force and knowingly violating the Mount Carmel Police Department's
Thank you.
use of force policy.
Your time is up, thank you.
I understand my time is up, but I'm going to ask you, because this is a very, very serious matter, to allow me just a little bit more time.
I cannot, it's in our bylaws not to, but 3 minutes. Please sit.
Okay, well, I'm not going to sit down. I have a First Amendment right to free speech. The reason why the news media is here is because I'm here. And also, we have the mother and father and the sister of Saya Hall, who was shot in the chest, in the right shoulder, and in the forearm, and a passenger behind whom was shot. There were 5 juveniles in this vehicle, and you had 2 police officers, one of them being your officer, who fired 16 shots.
Sit down, sir.
Okay, well, I'm not going to sit down.
Well, then you'll need to be quiet because we have got a meeting.
So I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to use her 3 minutes.
Then, no.
No.
I am, you
So
cannot.
I've talked to mayor and city council
I will.
across the country,
I will.
and I am allowed to use someone else's.
You have got 1
minute, and
warning.
you can also use his 3 minutes.
Thank you. So now you're going to violate my right now to speak more, to take the 3 minutes. I'm going to use the 3 minutes from the
You
sister.
speak to our lawyer here, and he can tell you.
I've done this across the country. The
Well,
last time I did it was in Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania,
we
and
do.
when I got
I'm
finished
telling you
speaking, they
right
took a
now,
vote.
I am telling you right now
which you would have to take a vote
that
the
you
next
are
one.
violating our policies.
So you show me where. State the policy, because I don't believe you, Mayor.
Well,
State the
I'm
policy
sorry.
where I can't take
We'll
someone else's 3
continue
minutes.
with our
No, so
Mayor,
now you're violating my
please.
rights. You've already
Do we have
violated
any-
my First Amendment right. So you said to ask the lawyer. So please, what is your name, sir?
My name's Joe May.
Joe May?
May, just like the month.
Yes, sir. Joe May. Can you please tell the mayor and the alderman that I'm allowed to get the extra 3 minutes if I want it?
The policy of the town of Mount Carmel, which has been in place for quite some time now, is written by the mayor. If people have a comment to make regarding anything of public interest, they have 3 minutes in which to do it. If the other people wish to speak for their 3 minutes, they're allowed to do so. But what you're suggesting is not the policy here.
So from what it sounds to me is there is no policy whether I could use someone else's 3 minutes. And like I said, I've done it across the country. I've gone.
This is Mount Carmel.
I understand it's Mount Carmel,
And
but in these other places, in other states, they've allowed me to take.
if they have such a
someone else's-
policy,
No, there was no policy, but they allowed it because it makes common sense. That she has 3 minutes and she's gonna give the
Sir,
minutes to me.
I'm going
It's the
to
same
ask
thing-
you to
but
leave.
please, I'm talking to your lawyer.
I know, but your time is up, and
Well,
this is not the time.
I don't believe it's
you
up
to
because they even do
discuss
this in Congress.
I'm sorry,
where
you
they
need
give
to
someone else 3
leave
minutes.
now or sit down.
So I need to leave, or you're gonna do what?
I will have you arrested.
So you'll have me arrested
You need to go out that
for
door.
speaking at a
No.
public comment section. You're gonna have me arrested for that. You're gonna violate my rights and have me arrested.
You have a right to speak for 3 minutes on a matter of public interest. You took your 3 minutes. You're right at this point disturbing a public meeting.
Well, I don't feel as though this is a very serious subject.
I understand that.
Her son was shot and was unarmed
I think
and
everyone
shot in
here
the chest,
heard what you said.
shoulder, and arm. So,
You're speaking of a criminal offense, if it exists, against some officer. If you have a complaint, you need to address it to the district attorney. There is a district attorney's office that covers Hawkins County, and you may address your complaints to him.
I would take your suggestion and do that as soon as I drive the 9 hours back to New Jersey. But what I brought, sir, with all due respect, in front of your mayor and alderman, I sent the complaints to your mayor 3 different times, and she never, so what is your rule? So she's supposed to acknowledge my complaint, or address a citizen's complaint, or she just doesn't give a damn about citizens in Mount
Excuse
Carmel?
me, we don't have that kind of
Tennessee.
language in our courtroom,
I
in our
apologize.
meeting room.
Okay,
You
I
just told
apologize.
us you're a citizen in New Jersey, you're not a citizen of Mount Carmel.
I'm a citizen of the United States. I'm a concerned citizen of the United States. And as the executive director for Total Justice Project,
I understand.
the
what
mother
you're
gave me
doing,
permission
so
to
does
be here.
everyone else.
I'm here advocating for her and her son and her family.
And you have done so.
So now we need for you to be quiet so we can continue our meeting. We have an agenda to go by.
I will be quiet, but I asked a question, and I would like your lawyer to answer, which is, when you have a citizen file a formal complaint to your mayor
Of course,
and to your police chief, do they have an obligation, it's real simple and I'll go, do they have an obligation to acknowledge the formal complaint against their officer that allegedly used excessive force and violated your police chief's use of force policy, and he like disappears, oh, he's over there, okay, why don't you come on in and join us?
you're,
He's fine. He's fine out there.
So
what
could you
you're
please answer that and
Sure,
I'll
I'd
sit
be
down?
glad to.
Because I don't want to do
What you're
anything to disrespect
suggesting-
anybody,
now,
but,
You asked me a question.
Yes, sir.
And give me an opportunity to answer you.
yes, sir.
What you're suggesting is that a police officer of the town of Mount Carmel has committed a criminal offense. If you have that complaint, you need to make it to the district attorney.
You said that, but what I brought here, if you had listened, was he
I
violated the
listened
use of
very
force
well.
policy, which
What you're
is,
suggesting is that the mayor has some authority over the criminal laws of the state of Tennessee, and she does not. There is no jurisdiction here for the complaint that you've made. You need to address that to the district attorney's office.
I'm gonna say this last thing and I'm gonna sit down. I disagree with you strongly. In Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania, I went in front of the mayor and city council. They didn't have
I'm
all
going
of
to
it.
ask you one more
But
time.
please, let me just finish this thought.
You are
for your
taking up
viewers.
valuable time from these.
What, but I don't think
people.
anybody else is gonna speak because I
Well, it
waited.
doesn't matter because you have been 15 minutes now.
Okay, let me just finish my point. He
You
said-
have finished your report.
But what he said
I am
was
asking you now
that you don't have
to
the
sit
power to
down.
do it. In Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania, after I spoke, they voted and they fired the 3 officers for
Sit down.
violating the use of force
Sit down
policy.
now, or.
For what? You're gonna lock me up?
Leave.
You're gonna violate my rights?
No, I'm not, but I'm saying you're violating this.
And you're gonna lock me up for
thing
what?
here.
What am I getting locked up for?
I'm not saying you're locked up, I'm just saying.
So now
you
you're
need to
changing your mind.
leave
I'm not
or
gonna
do
get locked up.
whatever.
A minute ago, you said you're gonna have the police chief, because he's the only
You had
officer
your
here,
opportunity
arrest
to
me.
speak. You're attempting to have this lay board of citizens who serve as the governing body of this municipality interchange with you about matters of your constitutional rights, which are beyond their jurisdiction. They have jurisdiction to pass ordinances in the town of Mount Carmel. You're asking questions about criminal offenses in Tennessee that you now recognize need to be addressed to the district attorney's office.
And I'm not a
you had-
lawyer, I'm not a.
You had your
no.
time.
But I told you the mayor and city council in Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania voted.
We're not in
And
Shadow,
fine, and-
Pennsylvania.
Okay,
Thank you.
I know exactly where I am. I drove the 9 hours to Tennessee, to Mount Carmel, Tennessee.
You need to leave the room now.
So now I need to leave the room.
Yes.
He
So,
got upset.
Could you
And now I gotta
could
leave the
you
room.
Could you not let us proceed with our meeting, and then some of us will stay and be glad to listen to what you have to say, but let us just proceed and get the meeting.
I will let you
over with.
proceed, but I sent the formal complaint, so are you gonna at least look at that and address that? That was sent to all of you
We
guys.
can't address that, sir. That's not, has anything to do with us.
It does. If I
No,
let
it
you
doesn't.
use-
We do not have the right to, we are not over the police department. We do not handle personnel matters. We are not allowed to interject in that stuff.
Then
And especially if
is
it's
your
not
police chief
joint.
allowed? Because then I'll leave you guys alone. Is the
No,
police chief
he
allowed?
does not need to be in here. We're having a
No,
meeting.
what I'm saying, Mayor, please, with all due respect. is
You're
I sent the
taking
formal
up
complaint
our
to the
time
police
now.
chief. Doesn't the
You're
police
taking
chief,
up our time
doesn't he have a
now.
right?
Step out there and talk to
I
us.
will talk to him. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm sorry, folks, telling you, sir. I wasn't trying to do that.
Let's have Beaver talk.
God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Hi, sir.